Hi, it's Ryan from Nights Around a Table, and you thought I was kidding when I told you that it was going to be all Uwe Rosenberg on the channel all the time, and I wasn't, because we've got a game that we're going to unbox today. Who is this friendly fellow, you ask? Well, this is not Uwe Rosenberg, in case you know what that guy looks like. This is my dear and good friend, Michael Todd, who is a game designer extraordinaire, and if you know anything that Michael Todd did, he's responsible for a couple games called Electronic Superjoy 1 and 2. If you're big, these are video games, so if you're on Steam and you're big into hardcore Twitch fast-paced platformers like Celeste or Super Meat Boy, that's what ESJ2 is all about. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, I guess I'll throw a link down in the description below, and you can follow that link to Steam to check out Electronic Superjoy. Hey, and if you see him on the Discord server, there's the Discord link at the bottom of the screen. He goes by the game designer, so he pops in every once in a while. So if you see him, say hi. That's what Michael Todd is all about. Michael Todd's over here. He doesn't realize because it's my birthday, and so we're gonna play a game together. I know, I just sprung that one on you.
Is it?
It is.
Is it really?
It is. Today is my birthday. You're gonna be seeing this a few days after my birthday, because I don't want to be editing and uploading a video on my birthday. So it's gonna be. So if you haven't wished me a birthday, happy birthday today, and you're seeing this video, you're like, oh, I should get on that. You've missed it. That's it. You're dead to me. No, not really. All right. So I like to have friends and family on the channel whenever we're talking about games that they're very, very interested in. And Michael Todd, you like Uwe Rosenberg.
I do. I'm a big Agricola fan, mostly.
Yeah.
But I've played a lot of his other stuff, specifically his puzzle garden-y stuff and Caverna and Feast for Odin. Played a lot of Feast for Odin.
And if you watch the channel, you noticed that we just recently put out How to Play Agricola and How to Play Feast for Odin, and we unboxed the Feast for Odin, the Norwegians expansion, and today we're going to unbox Caverna, the Forgotten Folk, which is the expansion to Caverna, which is the follow-up to Agricola. It's a whole thing.
I've never played this, so this will be interesting.
So what's funny about this? Tell me, without looking at the back of the box, that's cheating. We don't do that in unboxings. We don't learn about games ahead of time. Tell me what you know about Caverna, the Forgotten Folk.
I know almost nothing. I know Caverna was about dwarves. It was vaguely Lord of the Rings-esque sort of thing, which most of his games, if you know Uwe Rosenberg, are not fantasy at all. They're historical. So, yeah, no.
Like Le Havre was about a harbor?
Yeah, very, very mundane. He's like, hey, you know, would you like to play a game about moving pebbles from this part of the path to this part of the path? And that's basically a real game.
So to find out about this game, why don't we consult the back of the box? Oh God. There are no pictures of this game on the back of the box. So it's kind of like an insider thing, right? If you've never heard of Uwe Rosenberg before, hopefully you're not completely lost, but he designed a bunch of games. He designed this one, and if you wanted to pick this one up, it's got no pictures, so what would you do? You go to like Board Game Geek or something and look up. Like, that's ridiculous. I was going to do a whole video, because I've been through the board game store a bunch of times, and I was going to do a video where sometimes I pick up these games and not only are there no pictures on the back of the back of the box is white. Like, they haven't paid to print anything on the back. And I'm like, how are you supposed to, why would anybody buy this product? And there are interesting different reasons that they did that. This one, I have no idea, because these games, Lookout Games is the publisher, and they kind of,
he's really pushing the fantasy.
True.
The back of this box is, for someone who does historical games, he is screaming, this is fantasy. Look, there's a guy with crystals growing out of his head. There's a troll. Maybe that's the message he wanted to get across. But it's a pain in the ass as a consumer. I don't know what I'm buying.
Exactly. So, you know, and I wonder if that affected sales. I wonder if not many people picked this up because it's too much of a big risk. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they should have come and watched your video.
Well, here we go. So we're going to find out what's in there. You're the guest, so I'm going to give you the knife. And shing.
So, do I just sort of stab it?
Yes, that's basically it. You go right through the box. You just in the thing.
Oh, I see.
Yes. There is a technique to it, folks.
Well, that's what I wanted to
So
know.
Michael Todd and I are not able to socially distance today, but we are wearing masks, as you can see.
Stay safe, folks.
Just to be good role models, I guess. It's so funny, too. I wanted to look good today. I trimmed my beard. And then I get on camera
really
like, wait a second.
All right. I guess I probably don't need to do all four sides.
No, there you go. Crack it open. Now, Michael Todd, we must listen. We must listen very closely. You can do the honors, but shh, everybody shh. Here we go. Oh, box fartometer. That's a 0. Big goose egg, nothing. But what do we find when we lift the lid? I feel like it's like we're opening Tut's tomb or something. Nobody knows what's in here. What do we got?
So we've got some extra bags, because Uwe Rosenberg's generally of that. Give you the extra bits.
Lots of bags needed. I do a page count on the rule book. We're not going to read the whole thing.
12 pages. Not bad.
Not a lot of pictures, though,
pictures,
eh?
No.
Yeah, that's heavy text.
Okay, so if you like cardboard pieces, Uwe Rosenberg games.
And I do.
For you, yeah. We've got, it's all bound together here by this, and we've got 8 big cardboard pages, and they have quite varying pieces. None of this, a million circles.
It's not standard at all, eh?
Yeah, this must have cost a mint to print.
Tell us why.
Well, because standardization is the thing. If you can use the same what are they called? Die.
Yeah.
The same die to cut out each one, it's much cheaper. So this one is, each different one has a different metal die that's been pushed into it. Like, these are mushroom shaped. So this custom.
Oh no, it is different. Yeah. So the top part's the same. Have you ever seen a die, Michael Todd?
Yes, I have, in videos.
Isn't it cool?
It is cool.
Yeah, my father-in-law works at a cardboard box factory, and I got to tour it one day, and they have the whole die department where they just have big dies on racks. It's really cool to see. They're all made of like metal knives and rubber bits and stuff. So, man, we made a huge mess here, but looks like this would be like you're playing an elf, right? I guess you're picking
this is some character profile stuff.
Yeah, so we'll put it on the close-up cam. Of course, it's going to knock the blue out, but wow, okay. On unused forest spaces. So the game. We should just mention briefly what the heck the game is. Caverna, you're a dwarf, maybe not anymore.
So it's an item placement game. If you've played Feast for Odin or Agricola, you're in the general ballpark. You have workers who need to, who you want to get more powerful, you want to have more workers, but also they need to get food and resources and items, and they need to get all the generic stuff you would in any crafting game. That reminds me of Root, honestly, because they have 2 big rules, like for them as a thing, and I imagine the other characters don't have the same rules.
You start the game with 2 gemfruits, like right off the bat. What the heck is a gemfruit? I don't even know. Okay, let's see if we can find them.
Here's the pale
What's
ones.
Interesting? Here.
Emo miners.
Emo miners. They are called the pale ones.
Well, not when they're under that filter. God.
Drift.
Added flesh.
These are 2 worker placement spaces. It's describing I recognize from the base game. This means gold, which is essentially points. But then mushrooms are a new thing. Yeah, there's a
comparison. See, they have 2 rules again.
Oh, I see.
Endless tunnels and disinterest in nature, and then the other ones were joy of sunlight and something.
Oh, so they got an advantage and a disadvantage. It looks like.
Yeah.
Right. So does the elf have a disadvantage as well?
Lovers of sunlight and woodland habitat. I think it's interesting because it's a sum up. It's a two trait sum up. Root, which I know you don't like, but I've been playing a lot of, has this same thing. Every team has 2 rules, and sometimes they're both good and the team sucks otherwise, or they're both bad and the team's very powerful otherwise.
Each time you furnish a cavern, you get a discount of 1 stone if possible. You need not pay stone for stables. Yeah, so they all have their perks and their pros and cons, pluses and minuses. Now there's new resources. It looks like. You know what? You know what's weird? So, any guesses what the most viewed video on my channel is?
The nip slip.
It was the nip slip, but we've had to take that down because of community guidelines. But it's the Catan video, how to play Catan.
Yeah, okay.
And it's funny, nobody else bugs me about it except for people on the Catan video, maybe because it's viewed by more people, or maybe people who are interested in Catan are jerks. I don't know. But we in Southern Ontario, where we're based, say the reeezources word.
This is going to come back to Agricola, isn't it?
Say it. No, reezources. Say that word.
R-E-S, sorry, you're spelling it too quickly.
R-E-S.
Yes.
O-U-R-C-E-S.
Resource.
Resource. We say resource. Americans don't say resource.
What do they say?
They say resource. They hard S it. They say resource.
Oh man, this is a
Isn't that crazy?
Caribbean
and yes, and no, like wow, well, we had the overhead camera on the entire time. I did not know that until people on the Catan video started pointing it out to me, and they're kind of rude about it, to be honest. They're like, guys, not resources with a Z. And yes, we say Z, not Z, deal with it. So yeah, I don't know. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is there are new resources in the game, and they are looks like resources. I know it's weird to say the other one. You know what's funny? I started trying to say resources in other videos, and then it would come out weird because I was unconfident. I'd be like, and the resources. Anyway,
just Swedish chef it up. Say it the Canadian way, and then go poutine moose. Work.
Yeah, that's it. Over here on the close-up cam, here are two of the. Now they're not just diamonds; they look like diamond berries because they got little stems on them. That's funny.
Those are probably the elf thing, right?
They could be gemberries. Gemfruits.
Yeah.
And then there's a thing that has mushrooms. Where'd the mushrooms go? Oh yeah, here's some mushrooms. So mushrooms look like they are their own resource in the game.
Yeah, there's definitely some printed on every sheet. You can tell they've crammed the small things in the gaps between the large things on the sheet. So you've got just little pieces of what we assume are gemfruits and mushrooms and so on, but they're in slightly different places as the sheets are laid out.
You get new buildings, so there's a variety of different buildings. That's one of the big differences between Caverna and Agricola. In Agricola, all the special things are in cards, and in Caverna, they're all on tiles that go on a common board, which makes a bit of a pain to set up, right? Like it kind of stinks.
All of his games are somewhat heavy to set up. I have a stripped down Agricola set where it's just got the pieces for 2-player, and they're in little bags, and even that is still
it's a lot. It's a lot.
300 games in, and I'm still taking forever to set up.
Goblins. This is a new thing. I don't know if it's a new thing, but it's something that I've cottoned onto in recent years. How people are complaining about racism in Lord of the Rings. Have you ever heard that? Like racism in fantasy. So the goblins are lazy and they're clumsy
and they're incompetent,
and they're also incompetent. Yeah,
and then the Lord of the Rings is not as bad racism wise as the animal ones. The the root and the red wall and the giant tree.
Yeah,
because they're like, oh yeah, no, this animal's good, and then those weasels, those lazy layabout,
those badgers. Like, yeah. Anyway, poor badgers. We've got nothing against badgers on this. If you're a badger, or you identify as a badger, I don't even know what the hell's. Okay, and then look, there's also, here's a thing on gemfruits. It says at any time, pay 1 gemfruit for 2 food, pay 1 gemfruit for 1 ruby, which means that it looks like they're as valuable as rubies.
It looks like gemfruits are wild cards.
Oh, you can sow them. Oh, that's what's different than rubies. You can plant gemfruits and harvest them.
So gemfruits can be turned into, oh, I see. So gemfruit was probably designed from this in mind. This is the food symbol from Agricola.
Here, let's put it on there.
So gemfruits can be turned into food, but they can also be turned into what looks like a ruby. So if I was going to design something that could be turned into both food or gem, I would call it a gemfruit. So that's probably where that came from.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, and there's a ruby mine, so there's definitely rubies as a resource.
Yeah, ruby mines. We got ruby mines in the base game, but they've given us extra ruby mine tiles, so you've seen those.
Oh, it's an expansion.
Yeah.
Right, okay. It's like, where are the meeples?
Yeah, no, you've got all the meeples that you need. You know what I haven't seen, though, what I was reflecting on was that in the redesign of Agricola, they've changed the workers from fat discs to little farmers, but they haven't done that for Caverna. I was expecting to see little maybe wooden dwarves or something, but maybe it's good that they didn't do that, because now you've got all these different races that you can play, and they're not all...
Oh, themed.
Yeah, right? So maybe they knew they were doing that, so they're like, oh, we better not put out meeples.
Claustrophobic. Oh, in comparison to dwarves. Right. In a dwarf-based game, with dwarfs as the normal, humans are claustrophobic.
Humans are claustrophobic,
because they're not 3 foot high and okay with being buried under a mountain.
Yes, it's true. And then we'll put that's accurate. Yeah. That's fantastically accurate. And then the cave goblins.
Clumsy, incompetent, and numerous. Yeah.
So... throwing shade at the cave goblins. And then we'll put trolls in. It's funny that not all of the races...
Small brain. Big sack, though.
Bill, big sack. Oh, my God. Here, I got to get this video taken down if we put too much... That's like half as bad as the nip slip. Okay, that's fun. You know what's funny is that not all of the races... They don't all seem like ones you'd want to play.
Yeah, no, the designer is very clearly like writing a lot of negatives in.
Oh wait, there's one more here. There's a couple more here.
Everyone's deeply flawed, and then so are the game characters.
It's honest. So we got a couple more. We'll just pop. I think the races are the most interesting thing to look at. So there's two more.
So. Like there's interesting resources, but they're basically variations on Caverna. you live in a cave and now you grow mushrooms. Great.
So there's a different kind of dwarf, a mountain dwarf. Twin tiles may overlap in the mountain. Or overhang. That's something you don't usually get to do, but there's a building in the base game that lets you overhang.
So they can have a denser building inside their cave.
Yeah. The office room is the building that lets you do that. So it says if you get the office room, you've already got that effect.
Oh, and it's the reverse for their next one. Disinterest in nature. Each time, so you're supposed to place a twin tile, you may only place a single tile. So they can place less tiles less accurately outside.
Right. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, and Caverna, so we're not showing the Caverna main game here, but there's an indoor and an outdoor. That's one of the big things. So they use that as so that's what this...
and there's single tiles and there's double tiles.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't go as far as Tetris pieces, but it's kind of shapes that you put down on the grid.
Yeah, and it's funny to see themes run through all of Uwe Rosenberg games.
He loves those tetrominoes.
He loves tetrominoes. He loves fitting puzzle pieces to grids. That's all what Feast for Odin is.
Yeah.
The way I explain Feast for Odin to people is it's like a jigsaw puzzle, the easiest jigsaw puzzle in the world, but working to get the pieces is difficult, right?
Yeah,
That's what you got to do.
It's very complicated mapping.
And then over here, the goblins. That's an interesting. I would never. If you saw a picture of that and you said name the fantasy race, would you ever come up with a goblin?
No, they have a rule about.
Oh, they're dark elves. Oh my god. Oh,
yeah,
they're not
I get
goblins.
it. It starts with goblin.
Totally.
Still, that's a pretty weed smoking dark elf.
Yeah, that dark elf is feeling no pain.
Some dank dark weed.
The dank elves. Hilarious. We didn't go over all the little buildings, but I think that's good.
Most of these are repeats. The buildings are different, but these are player aids.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of resources. It looks like some slightly more. Ruby mines are new, so that's a new type of mine place.
Let's pop out a couple. No. Ruby mines are from the base game.
Are they?
Yep, they're in there. That's how you get. Yeah, that's how you get
extra
rubies.
tunnels, extra ruby mines, and extra fields.
I played Caverna a day ago, so it's very fresh in my mind. We're gonna play today.
Yes. That'll be good.
So bird hide. What does that bird hide say? Can you read that for me?
Scoring 3 points.
Oh, it's a scoring tile, right? The yellow ones are all scoring tiles. The feeding room.
Different animals breed again. Up to 2 to 4 different animals breed together.
Pretty valuable.
For breeding phase.
The hunter's hut at the start of each harvest for every third empty forest.
Get an extra
food.
Oh, okay. So it.
For hunting game.
Yeah, you're shooting rabbits.
As I mentioned in the Feast for Odin video, Uwe Rosenberg games are not vegan friendly.
They really are not.
He's all about eating and shooting the animals. And I think he might be vegetarian is the punchline, because I think it mentions that in the Feast for Odin rulebook. It says something about beans on Odin's table, and like you can have all the beans that you want, and he's like big into beans. I don't know, maybe he's not a vegetarian. I might have invented that. The Elven Market, you pay 3 wood and 2 stone once per round. You can pay 2 gold. Gold's hard to get a pumpkin and a ruby. Right. A lot of these buildings are like really specific strategies. I haven't really wrapped my head around that.
That kind of makes sense for an expansion, because they'll have been playtesting it. You'll have way more people who are playing it, and then a highly specific play strategy.
And then that one guy's like, I wish I could pay 2 gold for a pumpkin and why isn't that in the game, Rosenberg?
It's a glaring gap.
Yeah, obviously. Anyway, there were so few places to get gold in the base game that I'm surprised that there are even buildings that rely on it. And then we'll just take a look at these 3 right here. So another scoring tile, the mining office. Per adjacent mine, immediately. There's one that's like this for dwellings in the base game. But this is for adjacent mines. You get extra ore. The training room before each expedition with an armed person. You get. Oh wow! You get an ore per weapon level on it. That's the other thing that's weird. There's weapons. You can arm your dwarves, and it lets you basically get more stuff. So you go shopping from a list of things. And the way Cheryl and I put it, like you'll go on a space that says 3. So I say like, okay, you've got 3 wishes. So grab something from that list. Yeah. And then the last thing, the overseer's dwelling, room for 1 person. Oh, so it's another dwelling, but what's different about it? Oh, so you score extra rubies and ore depending on the number of mines that you have.
So you want to slap it down in the middle of your mines, taking up space.
Well, are you excited to dive in?
Yes. I clearly haven't played for too long, but... I'm up for losing.
It's my birthday. Usually my birthday game, by the way, is Tricarion, but I'm going to be playing Tricarion on Friday. And the reason why that's my birthday game is because nobody will play it with me for the rest of the year because they're like, how many rules do I have to learn? Like, okay, it's fine, it's fine. I know a guy who has a video.
Yep.
Right. So thank you so much for joining us. This has been Michael Todd. Hopefully he'll join us for another video down the road. We're going to go have some fun. Happy birthday to me. Thanks so much for watching this one. Did you just watch that whole thing? Oh, hey, to 100% this video, click the badge to subscribe and then click the bell to get notifications when I've got new stuff.